Hello, this should be a quick video to show how I use skills in my repo with VS Code and GitHub Copilot in order to turn some raw materials into some structured output. I'm recording this video because I had some questions today during office hours about skills, and I thought it might be fun to see them in action. So this is the repo that I'm using for the video, and it has various skills in it. So let me show you inside VS Code what we have here. So in the GitHub folder, there is a skills folder, and that has the skills in it. I think soon what I saw is that the new standard is going to be .agent/skills. So maybe I'll move this to .agent/skills because now there's this standardization movement around skills, because of course Anthropic came up with skills, and they also they're always like to standardize things. So in the future, this might be .agent/skills, right? But currently it's in .github/skills. And you see here, there are 3 skills. Each of them is a folder. Let me make this bigger. So we have 3 skills: a discussion commenter, a YouTube live chat, and a YouTube transcript. So if we look at like YouTube transcript, there's a skill.md. This skill.md has some YAML front matter here, which is just metadata about the skill. So there's a name and there's a description. Now, this is really important because this is what VS Code is going to show to the LLM when the LLM, over here, like Opus 4.5, when it's deciding what skills it's going to use, it is only going to see the name and the description. So you want to make sure that the name and description make it really clear when it might want to actually load the rest of the skill. Now, the rest of the skill is the markdown in this file, which just provides all this, the actual skill, where it just says like, okay, if you want to extract transcripts from YouTube videos, then you need to run this script. And this script is also inside the skill folder, and it provides some information about how to run it and some notes. So then we have the actual script. So many skills are accompanied by scripts, typically Python scripts. So here in this script, what's interesting is that we provide this metadata at the top in a comment that says how to run it. So we say, okay, you need 3.10 plus for Python, and you need this dependency. So if you declare it this way, then UV should know how to bring in that dependency when it's running it. So then you can just say UV run this script, and it should bring in that dependency. So really important when you're making these scripts for skills is that you use UV and you define your metadata up there. That's going to just make them the most successful. So then we have, the actual Python, and this is just some Python that, uses a package in order to extract transcripts, right? But that's a general format of a skill, is that you have at least a skill.md, and you possibly have some associated resources, Python files, etc., that make the skill work. So I've got YouTube transcript. I've got another one that gets the live chat. I've got another one that posts questions on GitHub threads, right? Okay, so we've got the skills in there, and then I've got prompts, right? So this one, generate write-up, it's just a standard prompt I want to run in this repo. And then you'll see in agents.md, these are the common tasks I do in this repo, and I actually put in agents.md like, hey, if you want to generate a write-up, I recommend using this skill and using this skill and doing all this, right? Now the thing is, like, here, because I'm doing something pretty common, I put it in agents.md. But with skills, you don't have to do anything beyond the skills. The skills can just exist, and if you're asking the agent for something that involves the skills, it'll invoke them. So let's try invoking them. So I had an office hours today, and I want to turn that office hours into a write-up. So I have this raw.md, which is where I put all like the raw materials for an office hours. So we have a recording link. We have just a copy and paste for my slide. I have all my links from open tabs. I have just a copy and paste from the Discord chat. So just a bunch of stuff I just put in, in this markdown file. And then what I'm going to say is, I'm going to tell it to generate a write-up for that, right? So I'm going to say, generate a markdown write-up of the weekly Python AI office hours from February 3rd. Okay. So now it's looking at that prompt and it's deciding though. So first it did find, it's found the right folder that had the raw.md. It's looking at the instructions at agents.md, which recommends what skills to use. So it says, okay, we're going to use this YouTube transcript skill. We're going to use this YouTube live chat skill. And then it's going to generate this markdown, right? So now it's actually using the skills, and you can tell that because it says read skill. So it says, okay, we read this skill. So we, read this skill.md, we read this skill. So once it decided it wanted to use those skills, that's when it went and read the entire skill, right? So this is key, is that at first, it just looks at the name of description of skill to decide whether to use it. And then once it knows it wants to use it, that's when it goes and actually reads the skills. So now it's actually using the skills and, checking to see what it can do. Okay, it checked that there's no live chat. That's true because that wasn't a true StreamYard Live. It was just a recording. Now it's looking at the transcript. So it's generated transcript. And as we go along, we can actually see live chat is empty, but transcript, it's got the full transcript in here. And wow, I got to say, it is so impressive what LLMs can do with transcripts. If you give an LLM transcript and you give it some, like additional timestamps and slides and stuff, it can just do really, really amazing things with cleaning up the transcript. And, we should see that soon. You can see right now it's saying it's creating timestamps that link to the video. So basically what it's doing, I've told it to go through the transcript and identify all the questions, answers. Oh, we've got it already. And you can see the top question. The first question here is, what security concerns exist around OpenClaw and Moltbook, which is a good question. Let's see, what is the new Codex app? How does it compare to GitHub Copilot? This was something somebody suggested we try out, so we had fun trying it out. What are skills? That's why I'm doing this stream right here, since there's so much interest in skills. Do you need VS Code Insider skill? Is there context locks? What's a good workflow for handling PR code reviews? How can you run multiple agents in parallel? What am I working on with MCP tool skills, right? So is it safe to use an agent for LinkedIn job searching? So yeah, so then what I do is once I've looked through these questions, answers, let's see, I'm going to just change this one just to say, what is Pamela working on? And okay, I think everything else looks good, right? So first I have it generate that question answers, and that used the first two skills, the YouTube live chat and the YouTube transcript. Then the next thing I do is say, okay, I reviewed that. That looked good. I made a couple edits. And then I'm going to ask it to post each of those questions, answers as comments in the GitHub discussion thread. So I'll just copy and paste this prompt here. So the goal is that it's going to update this thread here. So see how this thread has all these questions and answers. I want it to add all these questions and answers. Oh, and you can see it's actually updating. It just said there was a whole new question, right? So it is actually adding these on demand. Oh, it's already added it. So these were all, that was fast. And you can see how each of them also links to the timestamp in the video. That's really nice, right? They each also have, and this one is nice because it posted this main question, what are skills? And then it posted the follow-up questions underneath that, which is really nice. What is, right? So it's just really, really nice how it is able to link to the timestamps and the links and bring all of that together. And then it also generated markdown for the links. So then I can go up here and edit this and say, okay, for February 3rd, 2026, we'll do the recording. I'll grab that. And then topics covered. And I just go and paste that there. Grab the recording here. And then boom. So now I can share and say, okay, so these were the questions. Uh-oh, that one didn't work. All right, let's take a look at that one more time. What did we do? What security exists? Discussion 280. Okay, so I got to make sure. I thought I told it to leave out the absolute URL, but I'll check the agents.md and the skill, because we only want the anchors for these ones. Okay. All right, so I can refine my instructions. There we go. So then that'll jump to there. Okay, and then going back here. So now that last thing there, that used the other skill, the discussion commenter skill. You can see it says red skill, and it used that skill to post everything. And then, you know, we can just do a few other things here. But at this point, we've used all the skills. And that's the main thing that I wanted to show here, is that, you know, we can use these skills to, you know, easily create these workflows. And the cool thing is that, you know, here, you know, most of the time I want to, you know, generate this office hours write-ups, but sometimes I might do something slightly different. Like here, I did this stream where I was trying out Copilot, CLI, and SDK. And this time I didn't want the questions and answers, but I still wanted to be able to use the transcript and live chat skills. So I basically modified it and said, like, okay, this time you're going to get that live chat and transcript, but you're going to write up a report of all the bugs we found, right? So that's the nice thing about skills, is that yes, you can use them for these like repeated workflows like I did here, but you can also, you know, mash them up and come up with these new arbitrary workflows, which is like, okay, well, I did need, you know, I needed that skill, I didn't need that other one. And, you know, that's what's powerful about them. So you can start adding skills to your repos that help you automate particular workflows. And you can find a bunch of skills from other people if you go to the awesome Copilot repo or skills.sh. Those are both galleries of skills. All right, so there we go. That was a little demo of using skills in order to turn these office hours videos into structured write-ups. All right, bye everyone.